Hello and welcome to another edition of Momentum. I'm your host, John Mercado. My first guest is Kelly Agee, an instructor in the Bagley College's Shackles Technical Communication Program. Kelly, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
So you've been in our program for several years, and recently you've been in charge of the section devoted to students in electrical and computer engineering. So why don't you start by telling us a little bit about the course itself and then talk about this special section.
Okay, sure. Well, to get started, the whole purpose of this special section when it was designed 12 years ago was to provide students with really rigorous instruction in writing and presenting skills, and doing so as part of their capstone design process so that gives them that real-world experience of working within the electrical and computer engineering environment. So it's really hands-on with the design document and being part of that for the design class. So some of the things that we do in the class, we cover a multitude of topics that are similar to the topics that we cover in the regular sections, but we also go beyond that because we focus on the design document. So just kind of breaking down some of the course topics, we cover professional correspondence, ranging from memos, letters, emails, all of those types of documents that students will have to complete on the job. Even though they may think they may not be writing a lot of reports, they do. We hear often from former students that, yes, you were right. In fact, I do have to write on the job as an engineer. So we do cover report writing, and they get practice with that. And of course, that's very helpful for the construction of their design document as they proceed through the semester. And we also cover engineering ethics and communication. That's a big portion of the course. We look at several case studies. They do research on several case studies. And then we also focus on the Challenger accident as that's one of the prominent engineering ethics case studies nationally. So we also study that. And in the senior design section specifically, they have different assignments than they would in the regular sections. So whereas the regular section of technical writing might write a cover letter for the first assignment or choose to write a bad news letter in response to a case study prompt, the students in the design section, their documentation, that first assignment for them is actually the problem statement, which is the first section of their design document. And then it goes so on throughout the course where they work on different portions of the design document, and they then have a complete design document at the end of the semester that they can submit for Senior Design 1 for that course. But that is the document that has been worked on throughout the semester, and that eases the burden of them with the writing responsibilities while taking the senior design class. I think that was part of the original concept as well, is to reduce that additional burden for those students while completing the senior design course so that they could focus their attention while still learning all of the great tenets that we teach about effective technical writing and presenting. They do it in that context of the electrical and computer engineering environment.
And I know that during your tenure with this section, you developed some innovations that sort of meld technical communication and engineering work further, from when the section was first devised. Can you talk a little bit about some of the things that you've developed?
Sure. One of the things that I really appreciate about what Dr. Brian Jones and I are doing, he's the Senior Design 1 instructor right now, and he and I have developed a really close working relationship in that we review the drafts in the same document so that we return it to the students. They have all of our comments in one document, and student feedback has been very positive about that because they say it's much easier to make revisions to their drafts when they have all of those comments from us. So we've really tried to tailor that approach and work together on that, and we even comment on each other's comments and kind of, yes, I second that. You do need to revise this, and this does need to be clearer. And we also have reduced the number of presentation dry runs that students deliver. When I first came into the course, the students would deliver presentation dry runs for their mid-semester presentation and their final design presentation, both in technical writing and in senior design. And while certainly more practice is not a negative thing for the presentation, that's something that the students could do on their own outside of our class time, which we can devote more now to doing more other activities. And another thing that we're doing is more closely working on resume development. That was not a component of the course before, but I have done some resume reviewing for the electrical and computer engineering students in the past, and have worked with Charlie Wilder in the Career Center to help hone those resumes and better develop them so that they have better success at the career fair and then for their other job applications.
Well, Kelly, it's been great speaking with you today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John, for having me. I appreciate it.
It's been said that where there's water, there's life. For some parts of the world, that simple truth has never been more evident. Fields aren't getting the water they need. Fertilizer is washing into nearby rivers and streams, and harm to the environment is rising. At Mississippi State University, we're working to change this. By designing and implementing better irrigation solutions, we're collecting, conserving, and recycling nutrient-rich water, allowing us to reduce waste, secure the livelihoods of farmers, and pave the way for a safer, cleaner environment for fish and wildlife. But we're not stopping there. We're taking the process developed in our own backyard and applying it to a global stage. So whether it's Israel, the Philippines, or Indianola, Mississippi, we're ensuring simple truths endure, that where there's water, there's life. And where there's ingenuity at work, there's Mississippi State University.
Thinking about your next step? Can't decide between a 2-year community college or a 4-year university? Why not do both? Through MSU Meridian's partnership with area community colleges, you can earn core credits at a nearby 2-year program while pursuing a degree in any of these fields at Mississippi State. Stay local, pay less, earn more. To learn more about this great opportunity, visit us online.
When you're the best, everyone wants to see what you'll do next. At Mississippi State University, our team of world-class rocket engineers is venturing beyond boundaries, building rockets like none before. We're launching a new era of space exploration. We've developed cutting-edge technology that's helping us build a rocket that can travel at 4 times the speed of sound. Fast? Yes. But more importantly, revolutionary. For you and for a space program that produces many of the conveniences we enjoy today. We're shaping your life in ways you never dreamed. What's next? Watch us and see.
What if you could be part of one of the top engineering schools in the nation without ever leaving the coast? Well, now you can. Mississippi State's collaboration with Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College allows you to earn core credits while pursuing a 4-year degree in mechanical or electrical engineering, all in the same location. And with classes taught by MSU professors, the world-renowned education you couldn't find anywhere else is now in your own backyard. To learn more about this great opportunity, visit us online.
My next guest is Zach Tompkins, a junior mechanical engineering student and the vice regent of the Kappa Beta chapter of Theta Tau. Zach, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Let's start with the most basic question for our viewers. What is Theta Tau?
Theta Tau is a national co-ed professional engineering fraternity. We accept all majors or all students who are majoring in any facet of engineering at every university that we are there. Kappa Beta is the Mississippi State chapter, and we have chapters at MU chapters in Alabama, and we have chapters all over the country.
Okay. And I know you guys have an important event coming up soon. Why don't you talk about that?
Yeah, we have Theta Talks coming up. It's a lecture series style event. We have 5 speakers that are going to come in and talk about things that have affected them in their field and kind of give us a direction for where we think the future is going to be for engineering and the engineering students. We normally don't cater specifically to engineering for this event, but over the past several semesters we wind up getting a lot of engineering students as we are an engineering fraternity, and we've wound up with a little bit more engineering assistants this time.
Okay. Can you talk about a couple of the speakers, maybe, who they are and some of their topics?
Okay. First, we're going to have Thomas Walker. He's a PE and an industrial and systems engineer. We're going to have Dr. Cindy Bethel. She's an associate professor here at Mississippi State in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. We're going to have the Student Veterans Association is going to give us a couple of speakers. They're going to. I know one of them is going to talk about taking responsibility for your actions. I believe there's a couple more that are going to be doing shorter segments, and I'm not quite sure what they're going to be doing yet. We've got Daniel Christ, who is an electrical engineering alumni and also an alumni of Kappa Beta chapter. He's the CEO and founder of a game company that he actually started here at Mississippi State in the entrepreneurship program. And then we're closing with Dr. Carrie Olson. She works in the Chief Director's office with NASA and is over the payloads operations for the International Space Station. She has a very long title, and I really hope I got that right.
Right. And I guess we should make sure we get in the date and time and location.
Yeah. It is Wednesday, the 25th, from 6 to 8 in Taylor Auditorium in McCool.
Okay, fantastic. And it sounds like from what you said that Theta Tau really can provide some important opportunities for engineering students. What would you say are the important things that Theta Tau can provide, both career-wise and otherwise?
Well, we sort of focus on two main areas, and that's professional development and brotherhood. Through the professional development aspects tend to help in the on campus and off campus in your career and beyond. We've done events like resume reviews and events like Theta Talks, where we just bring people in to talk about things. One of our most recent one, we had someone come in that was in charge of the recruitment for one of the electrical companies in Tennessee, and she just kind of came in and told us about things to do in a career fair type setting and how to handle yourself in an interview and things of that nature to kind of help give people an edge. And we also do a lot of the things that other social fraternities do and build bonds and really develop a network for students who are going into the professional world to make connections at various places that they may wind up. We have members that are currently interning at NASA and some that are working in Oxford and all over the country in various industries.
Okay. And how large is Theta Tau nationally, internationally, outside of Mississippi? I assume it's a fairly large organization.
It is. It is a very large organization, and I honestly can't speak to the size of it right now. I truthfully don't know the number of members or the number of chapters off the top of my head.
But it exists. Is it an international, or is it mainly just a national?
It is just a national.
Just a national organization.
Right.
Okay. Zach, it's been a pleasure speaking with you today. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
That's all we have time for today. Remember that you can follow us on social media through Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at MSU Engineering. Thanks for being with us.